again, with Chris, I do use social websites. I've used Idea Toolbox. Your Google is my friend. Anytime I want to answer a question, I Google the top 10 social websites. And then I go to those websites. Another program that I use is Share. It's an application that you can post to one website and then copy and paste it to other websites. So you're not doing a blog 5 different times, but you're getting it out on all of the social big websites and like Twitter. If you're following somebody, like I just followed Susan, I went to her post, I shared her post. When you find that people are sharing for you, then you'll return the favor and share for them. That way you're going to build a following that's going to be unique to you.
Yes.
You're not going to be using email and spamming people to play a numbers game. You're going to zero in on the targeted audience.
I love it. Yeah, and that's important. You got to call them, even try and engage with them, because I don't get excited about an autoresponder message when people are just like, email marketing, and then they'll send out tons of emails. Well, I don't have an emotional connection to that, but I can get an emotional connection to a Facebook group where people care about me, or this mastermind, or Twitter, or anything else where people are sharing back and loving what I do. And that is critically important.
That's exactly right. I worked recently with a guy here in Melbourne, and he said the worst thing that people do on social media is they ask people to marry them on the first date. And that was his analogy. He said, you wouldn't run up to a stranger in the street and say, hey, good looking?
I would. No. Chris, would you?
You'd probably get away with it. I don't think the rest of us will. But yeah, and that's what people do. They use their direct message on Twitter and they say, oh, here's my ebook, here, sign up. And you've got to sign up for something, which people are really, everybody hates it. And here's my this, here's my that. And you're like, wow, I don't really know you from a bar of soap. Why would I want to read your book?
I have a good book idea.
That's it. And that's why that's the biggest mistake that authors make on Twitter, is their direct message is basically asking whoever's reading it to marry them, because you don't know them. And who has time to visit a website you don't know anything about, and read a book you don't know anything about by an author you don't know from Adam. So, and that's where you've got to start, and that's exactly what you should be doing on Twitter, is building relationships.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It goes back to that, know, like, trust, but you got to get them to know you first, understand who you are, trust enough that you're not just trying to get them to just join something for just to join, that you really have value and interest in who they are and what they're about, what they're doing, and that you want to help them solve a problem or solve an issue or find something that you can maybe possibly down the road be able to offer them without ever offering them, because by then you've got them hooked in because you know them and they know about you, but you've not really ever gone into depth. But then they go and search you out, see what you're about, what you're doing, what you might be in, and then they might ask you and say, oh, by the way, what are you doing, and stuff like that. You've helped me out with a couple things, so what do you do? And then you could say, oh, by the way, I have this services if you want to go to my site, or you want to go here or whatever. Or even throwing out little tidbits, like you say, on Twitter or Instagram or something, little helpful things for that person that they can quickly grab and use and take for themselves. They're likely to share that information with somebody else because they know it'll help somebody else too. And I think that's where you build the engagement, and that's where you build the following.
Yeah, I love that, what you said there, Dan. And Susan, I have a new book idea, How to Marry Someone on the First Date, social media version. But no, it's true, because a lot of people go and get their links. But when I met Chris, we didn't really talk about business. He didn't spam a link. I just met him on Facebook. He sent me a message. He put his phone number in there. I called him. He didn't get back to me, so I called him again. I got a hold of him. I said, let's get on Skype. We talked on Skype for a little bit. Then I told him what I was doing. And then him and Marcia, which was our mentor at the time, explained to us, who she was, introduced herself. And it was just introductions, talking, being real friendly, saying, hey, these are people I want to keep working with to build something. I don't know what it is, but I just like the people. And it didn't matter. And that's something interesting on social media, and especially Twitter and Facebook, where you can just get people to like you. It's not necessarily people come to me and they're like, what's a good auto poster? What's a good way to put out a lot of messages at once? What's a good way to bulk market? And I say, you can do that, and I've tried that. But what really matters is getting a select group of people, the people we have now and the people I meet down the line, and creating a great relationship with them. And there's not one way to do it, but it's just sitting there and not looking at them as just a number for your business, looking at them as you actually care. And when they see they actually care, you can get people of all different expertises. And Susan has author experience, Sean's good with financials, Dan's a blogger, and it's really exciting to see people from all walks of life come on and share ideas.
Yeah, for me, it's all about finding something that I think that they might need help with, based on just doing an overview. Like when I looked at your guys' website from the beginning, I saw how, you and Chris were have one side and Kareem was more educational, and how these guys combining these two ideas together would empower their website to be able to help many people from different worlds, if you will. So for me, it was just looking for something that I thought might, help them in some way, shape, or form. And I would almost say it's almost like giving, I'll tell you this much, it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. So when you're willing to give away something that's of value to you, something really, somebody really takes notice of that most of the time, and they're willing to realize that and open up.
Yeah. And actually with Susan, what I did, and with Sean, I'll tell you a trick here. This does work. This works 100% to get clients. Well, let's say 99, because someone will come and yell at me, and then there'll be a lawyer here and I'll be crying. but this does work. When you're giving services out for people, or when you want to work with them, sometimes offer to do a little something for free. I did this with Susan, Sean, I did this with Dan a little bit, and I've done this with friends. Just say, hey, I really like your service. Let me help you out for free, just a little bit. And I even did this in my career. I worked for my professor, my academic advisor, for free. And then put in good effort, and they'll go, whoa, he was willing to do a little something for free. And I think I followed people on Twitter with Susan, and I helped Sean with something, just a screencast. And then they say, whoa, he actually cares. Or she actually cares. And then I'm able to say, hey, I delivered some quality work, or I delivered something that they like, or I just offered my services for free and showed them what I could do. And then they see that credibility, that authority, and it keeps building and building and building, because you offered that one little piece of extra effort that people wouldn't do. And that works great on social media. If you meet someone, hey, let you strike up a conversation and say, hey, let me show you, a little bit about me. Let me show you what I can do for you. And give them a little tidbit if you can.
Absolutely. And what Kareem doesn't know is that I'd been through 3 other people before I found him who had wasted weeks of my time, who couldn't do what I'd asked them to do, and who I was just about to throw the towel in, and I went, let one more go. And then this lovely face come up and said, look, I'll do it for free. And I fell over and picked myself up off the floor.
Cool. Well, I also think it's important to mention that when you're looking to connect with people on social media, take a look at their profile, find out who they are, find out what they're about, Are they in the same niche as you? Are they entrepreneurial? Are they somebody who writes books? Are they somebody who's trying to create a business from home? And if you are a networker, those are the kinds of people that are going to be open to receiving ideas from you, or learning, learn about them before you start talking about yourself. And don't start spamming them with your crap, because they're just gonna block you. It happens so often. Like, sometimes even on IBO Toolbox, there's this guy on there that I've removed as an associate because I've asked him 4 times to quit sending me, like, it's like a long paragraph of this script that's obviously been written by somebody else, that he keeps sending me. Hey, you can make $3,000 in a week. And I'm like, okay, man, that's great, but what can you tell me about you? Who is, and then whoever the person's name is, and what are you all about, and why are you on IBO? Why did you join network marketing, or whatever you're doing? Do you want to help other people? Are you in this just to make money? And he just replied back with almost the exact same message he sent me the first time. So, I mean, and it's unfortunate that people are taught to do that, to market that way, and to present themselves that way. And hopefully by people watching the Entrepreneur Power Hour, they see that is not the way to go.